Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So as promised yesterday, our next video continuing this particular series that we are doing right now on Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Bible, it will be on Isaiah 42. So Isaiah 42 is a classic prophecy which has been used for many years. It's also in Ibn Taymiyyah's book answering those who altered the religion of Jesus Christ. In English, of course, I cannot remember the exact Arabic title. So it's a pretty early idea that this is in actually mentioning Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The whole chapter seems to be echo the name of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The text which is being looked at mainly is, "Behold my servant whom I uphold, mine elect in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit upon him, he shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed he shall not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. He shall not fail nor be discouraged, till he have set judgment in the earth, and the isles shall wait for his law. Thus saith God the Lord, who he that created the heavens, and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth, and that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people, and spirit to them that walk therein. I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness. I will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles." Interestingly, the Dead Sea Scrolls here have the word eternal covenant. So, just as a tiny side note for that verse. "To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory I will not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise from the ends of the earth, ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. Let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voices, the villages that Kedar doth inhabit. Let the inhabitants of the rock sing, let them shout from the top of the mountains." Some translations say, "Let the inhabitants of Selah sing," because that's the Hebrew word used there for rock. "Let them give glory unto the Lord, and declare his praise in the islands. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have a long time hidden my peace. I have been still, and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make mountains and hills, and will dry up all their herbs. I will make waste mountains and hills, and dry up all their herbs. And I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools. And I will bring the blind by a way which they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. They shall be turned back, and they shall be greatly ashamed, that trust in graven images, that say to molten images, ye are our gods. Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? Seeing many things, but thou observest not, opening the ears, but he heareth not. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake, and he will magnify the law, and make it honorable. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth for a spoil, and none saith, Restore. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil, and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger, and the strength of battle, and it hath set him on fire around about, yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart." So this is the entire chapter of Isaiah 42, the KJV version, in this particular prophecy. So there are three main mentioned so-called refutations made to this, on why this cannot be Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One, Isaiah 42 is about Israel. This is made by Jews, because if Christians make this claim, it's going against the New Testament, which clearly applies Isaiah 42 to Jesus. The second one, which is used by Christians, of course, Isaiah 42 is fulfilled by Jesus first. And 3, Kedar in verse 11, which is used as a reference to why this has to be about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of course Kedar is one of Ishmael's sons, and apparently it's a reference to the east, and Salah is in Edom, and Salah is not in Medina as Muslims normally claim. So regarding the first point of Isaiah 42 being about Israel, if we look at verse 18 onwards, God is almost scolding the Jewish people for not accepting the servant. How can the Jewish people be the servant here, yet also be the same people being scolded for not accepting the servant? As you can see here. Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind by my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? And of course you can read that all, and it's clearly referring to the Jewish people here. Regarding the second point, Jesus does not fulfill all of Isaiah 42 for many reasons. Verse 1 says that this servant will bring judgment to the Gentiles. Jesus himself said in Matthew 15:24, he answered, I was only sent to the lost sheep of Israel. People may argue against this by quoting John 10:16, which reads, I have other sheep that are not part of this sheep pen. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice, and they shall be one flock and one shepherd. This is not about the Gentiles, but about more disciples. For we see that the disciples fulfill this prayer in John 17:21, which reads, that all of them may be one. Father, just as you are in me and I am in you, may they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. This shows how all the disciples will be one, as prayed for in Matthew 15:24. People say that when it says that I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel, it's referring to as when he came into earth, the only people that he was actually speaking to and who he was sent to first. But what makes this invalid is the use of the word only. Since only is used, it makes Israel exclusive. Israel is the only nation here that Jesus was sent to, for the reason it says only. Verse 4 states that this servant will bring a law, and interestingly, the word used for law is the word Torah, suggesting that this servant will bring a revelation like the Torah, which of course contains stories of the past, ethical law, as well as religious law, as well as prophecies, etc. The Quran contains all of these. Jesus has not brought a new ethical law according to the Gospels, but ethical law is only a tiny fragment of the Torah. Therefore, Jesus does not fulfill this. There are many other reasons too, but will overlap into other topics. Regarding the third statement against this prophecy, saying Kedar is in reference to the east, and Salah is in Edom of Kedar, or Kedar means east, as some claim, then the verse should substitute the word Kedar for east, and it should make sense. Let us check. Let the wilderness and its cities raise their voices with the villages that east inhabits. Let the inhabitants of Salah or the rock sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. Clearly, it makes no sense to replace Kedar with east. What is so important about Kedar, you ask? As I already gave a brief explanation before. Well, you see throughout the Bible that Kedar is closely linked with Arabia. Ezekiel 27:21. Arabia and all the princes of Kedar were your customers. They did business with you in lambs, rams, and goats. He is also a son of Ishmael in Genesis 25:12-16. This is the account of the family line of Abraham's son Ishmael, whom Sarah's slave, the Egyptian, bore to Abraham. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, listed in order of their birth. Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael. Kedar, Adbil, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, Kedema. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these are the name of the 12 tribal rulers according to their settlements and camps. Regarding Salah or the rock, indeed the Bible does record Salah being near Edom, but remember Salah can also just mean rock, as stated in the KJV version before. Why do Christians say that this is about the people of the rock? We know this is not what they say. Also, it makes no sense for Isaiah to quote Arabia, as I have already proven with the mention of Kedar, and then suddenly switch to Edom, when Jesus has no relation to Edom. The verse does not make mention of the mountaintops of Sela. And interestingly, there is a Mount Sela in Arabia. This seems more logical, and I'm sure the reader, or of course this is my document, but I'm sure the listener also agrees too. God clearly is not fond of the Edomites too, due to Malachi 1:3, as stated in Deuteronomy 18:18 in the Deuteronomy 18:18 section. As my second video on this channel, it's talking about Deuteronomy 18:18. You can look back at that if you want. It seems puzzling for one to come to an Edomite conclusion when it does not help their case either, while also ignoring the location mentioned just a line before. So of course, I think I have proven that Isaiah 42 is about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and hopefully this made sense to you guys, and inshallah, you guys will benefit from this. Anyway, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.